an interesting choice of words I'm about to talk with you about. Front Office Sports has written a story on Joy Taylor, who's been MIA this week on Speak. It's not Speak for Yourself anymore, it's just called Speak. But Front Office Sports writing, Taylor missed the shows because she was sidelined by the network, sources told Front Office Sports. The apparent infraction that led Taylor to be off the program for at least 4 days was not immediately known. A spokesperson for Fox Sports declined to comment, and a spokesperson for Taylor did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So, Steve, Joy Taylor, you guys know her. She's got big cans, a big rack. She's got peanut butter skin. You guys, you know the deal. She's was involved or was named in a lawsuit by Nushin, the hairstylist that worked at Fox Sports, that, you know, alleged that Bayless offered her $1 million to get in those panties. You guys know the story. Joy Taylor sidelined a week after or shortly after the Super Bowl. What do you think of the choice of the word sideline rather than suspended or fired? What should we read into that?
Well, Jason, this is the ironic part. The last time someone suddenly stopped showing up on that particular show never came back, and that was you. You know, I'm just telling you.
Maybe it's big cans, big racks are not welcome there. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. So yesterday on my timeline, people started tweeting back at me Jason Whitlock memes again. And I go, wait, what's going on here? I mean, you've probably gotten them already. I was like, oh, so that happened.
Yeah.
So that happened. So I'm not going to lie to you, Jason. I thought she had weathered the storm. Think about it. It was a big story in early to mid-January. Everyone, including ourselves, talked about it. It was the biggest story in sports media for at least, 2 weeks. And I have a theory about the news cycle. If you can survive the opening salvo and you just keep at it and keep at it, the attention fades, it goes away, and then people go on to the next story. And there's a part of me that thought that had actually happened with Miss Taylor, because to be perfectly blunt, I hadn't even thought about this story since the last time you and I talked about it here on Fearless. That was at least, a month ago? So now to suddenly pop up, this is what I think. This is just a theory, and I have no inside sources there. They did their due diligence. Fox was going to say, we're going to be loyal. We're going to see if this is all just a lot of nothing, and we're going to try to see if we can survive this. But maybe there's enough smoke that they decided, you know what, this is a fire.
Well, my understanding is that Joy is in a bit of a contract jam. I think that her contract expired or expires at some point, and it was up in the air whether they wanted to renew her contract. And that this controversy actually put her in a better position. That because in terms of getting renewed and being retained, because if they let her go, does she become an out-of-the-closet adversary and the lawsuit mushrooms? And she does make these accusations, not just about Charlie Dixon, but about the entire culture. And so maybe they just want to hold on to Joy until this thing really, really blows over, until they can resolve the deal with the Nushin, until they can, and you know, the Julie Stewart-Binks jumped into this. Maybe they want to resolve all of this. And so maybe they're just kicking they got to do something, you know, and so they're sidelining her. But you know, now that I think that through, this whole sidelining and taking her off the air just draws attention to the whole thing and kind of reignites the story. I don't know what the logic is here. Her reputation, she's kind of a laughingstock. I don't think she's an anchor for that show now that her reputation's been that destroyed. I don't know if I have a great theory on what they're thinking here. I know they're in a contract deal with Colin Cowherd that's going to be very, very expensive. I do think they're going to retain him. It's my understanding. I think that, you know, the Charlie Dixon has also been sidelined as far as I know. He has not returned. I'm not sure if they may not know what they're doing, and they just be kicking the can down the road.
Jason, think about this. When you've covered an organization in sports and someone's on the hot seat, or there's rumors of a general manager, he may be on thin ice, or a manager, and you call, what is the phrase that they always use before whatever decision is made? Oh, it's just business as usual. And they really don't sideline anybody until they make a decision. To me, as long as they would have just let Joy do the show, I don't know if this would have popped up again. By actually sidelining her, you made it a story again, because now we all go all over Stone. And so now you bring up Colin Cowherd and his contract negotiation, which I didn't know about. It's business as usual there. I actually heard him yesterday on the way to the office. And I want to make this distinction in terms of importance. Last week, as I'm going into the office to the Bel Air of East LA, Montebello, when Colin was not on the air, they had some pinch hitters. It wasn't the same. It really wasn't. And look, I've had my criticisms of Cowherd, but I actually have a lot of respect for him. I do. And as soon as I heard it wasn't him, I just said, okay, let me go to my print CD. Yeah, I still have those, by the way. But now, yesterday, when Colin was back for my 25-minute drive in off the 60, I listened to it. Now, with Joy Taylor, if they suddenly got another pretty face to stick in there with Keyshawn, Paul Pierce, and Michael Irvin, I don't know if that show really misses a beat, does it?
I don't think the show has a beat. I don't think it has a heartbeat. I mean, just keeping it real.
So it's offbeat.
That's not
Okay.
Yeah, that's not blasting any of those guys personally. My position, I'm sorry for saying this because it makes me seem arrogant, but when I left, I was like, okay, this show has died. They're not gonna, you can't resuscitate it. And I'm not sure if they have any interest in resuscitating it, because I don't think they have a true desire for that time slot or that show to be successful. They turned it into their DEI show, and they don't have a sincere interest.
Yeah.
What they have a sincere interest in is retaining Cowherd and promoting Nick Wright as, the next Skip Bayless. That's what their interest is. It's been their interest for a long time. And these things are decided a long time ago.
Jason, I'm gonna make an analogy here that you may or may not like, but the Camelot of Speak for Yourself was really the first 3 years. It was either with you and Colin or you and Marcellus. And then as soon as you left, and I think I told you this, we barely knew each other, I gave Acho about a week.